Hello, everybody.
Hello!
And welcome to the next episode of Criterion Watch.
Yay.
I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. I'm here with
Paul A. Presenza, known as the Moo Cow. Moo.
And last Criterion Watch, we did Man Bites Dog. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty horrific and kind of scary a little bit, in a way, because it was pretty
Could have been worse. Could have been Man Bites Cow. That would have sucked.
Probably were Vampire Cow. That would have really sucked.
Oh, please, let's do Vampire Cow. I drink the milk of the living.
All right. Well, on that note, we are going to do since it's October and it's spooky season, I had to find a fun, spooky movie that everybody loves from Criterion, and that would be the I want to say, hold on, let me see what year it was. 58 film, The Blob.
Oh, yeah.
The Blob. It's
Steve
a classic.
McQueen.
Steve McQueen doing a B movie. This is just fantastic. I loved it. Once I first saw this movie, I said, because I watched the original Blob, the second Blob, the remake.
Beware the Blob.
No, I watched the remake with the remake first. And I loved it. It was a great remake, honestly. But this is the best one, period.
The original is the classic.
The original is a classic. It's got one of the best scenes in the movie that we'll talk about later. It's just fantastic. And we haven't done it for anything yet. So I figured, let's do The Blob. I was looking around. It's also only 82 minutes. So pretty quick movie to watch. And so we're going to go watch that right now, come back, and we're going to talk about The Blob. Yay. So we'll be right back. We are back, everybody. Oops, kicked the thing. Something's going to mess up today because we watched The Blob. The Blob, which actually...
with Steve McQueen.
Yeah, well, they just kept calling him Steve, and Paul kept saying McQueen the whole time. Because they kept... How many times did they call him Steve?
Multiple.
Way too many times. It's like... And it was in so to be like, Steve, I told you blah, blah, blah. And then Steve would say something, he goes, but Steve, I said blah, 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 blah.
And it's one of those things that's just the way they wrote movies in the day, but it's unnecessary and contrived because people don't talk like that. You look at a Tarantino movie, do they ever call each other the same names over and over and over?
Not over and over and over, but they do say, I love you, honey bunny. Yeah. I love you, pumpkin.
But it's rare. Because they know each other. They don't have to talk and say each other's names.
That's a bad example because I think they do say honey bunny and pumpkin a couple times during the robbery too. So I don't know. Some people do it. To me, it's a way so that if you have a larger ensemble, it's easier to remember everybody's name. Oh, that's Steve. That's
we all know.
All that stuff. So
yeah, it's a contrivance that most of the time you don't need.
What was her name? I don't even remember her name, but he did say her Jane. Steve and Jane. At least it wasn't Tarzan and Jane.
Right. He was supposed to be 17. Yeah, no, he's like 32.
He's 17.
Ridiculous. So yeah, it's not the best movie. It's kind of crappy in a
It's
sort of
actually
way,
not that as great as I remember. I don't know.
But it's kind of a classic example of 50s monsters movies that are really stand-ins for fear of communism. Red Scare kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's really what we're talking about here.
They had some. I mean, yeah, it was the Blob. The Blob was, I guess, that thing, and so we meet Steve and Jane in the beginning, and they're doing high school stuff out in the middle of nowhere, and she's like, "Oh, you take everybody here, don't you?" And blah blah blah, and and he's already looks 40 years old, and I'm just like. I thought, oh, that's not a teenager. That's got to be somebody in the what? Nope. He's 17 years old. We find out.
Yeah, no way.
So they see a meteor or whatever, a shooting star, land, and it makes a noise. It goes, boom, And so I was like, I don't think shooting stars make noise like that.
They don't.
And so they go to investigate. And as they investigate...
because that's what teenagers do. They wouldn't stay in the car and make out. That's really what they would do.
So they go and they go to investigate. But meanwhile, there's this old-timer, because we never find his name. He's just called Old-Timer.
I call him Old Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah, he was pretty much Lloyd Bridges. Back then, Lloyd Bridges looked a lot younger. But the guy comes out and investigates because his dog is going wild. So he goes to investigate himself, and he finds
another thing most people would not do.
Shooting star, or whatever, the shooting star thing. I'm guessing it's a meteor.
And the first thing he does is poke, 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 poke with a stick.
Why? Don't, like I was saying to Paul, I think there's that, I think it's in Creepshow 2 or whatever, maybe
First
Creepshow,
one.
is it the first one?
Yeah, The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill.
Yeah, and it's got Stephen King, so it's not
playing himself.
Steve McQueen. No, he has a name, I think.
Yeah.
But he comes out there and he investigates, and he investigates and he finds a meteor and all this other crap. So I feel like that was maybe an homage to the Blob,
Sure.
But here's Steve. So the guy gets attacked by the Blob. And the Blob
it goats onto his hand and he can't get off. And
get off, and then
he runs and screams and cries, and then
they find him, Steve and Jane, and then they drive him to the doctors who's about to leave, who called up, and Paul doesn't remember this, but he calls up some person and says, I'm not going to be here, or whatever. I'm going to my thing.
That was
blah,
plot.
blah, blah.
I wasn't paying attention to plot. I was
Yeah.
looking for the Blob.
Yeah, you're waiting for the Blob. But anyway, he does all that, so it comes back. So it actually is, Paul was getting mad and saying, you didn't explain these things. And I'm like, they did. They actually did in the beginning. That was good. That was the good thing. So he goes up and, he's leaving. The doctor is leaving for a conference. And the people run up and with the doctor, or with the old-timer, which the doctor is the one who calls him old-timer, and they're probably about the same age or close to it. They're both old-timers. And so he was helping the guy out and realizes it's absorbing the person.
This is like the old days when you would have a local town, you would have a local doctor, and he would have an examination room in his own house. Because back in the days, doctors would make house calls, or you could go to the local doctor there, and then they would take care of minor shit. And then if there was anything worse, you'd go to the actual hospital at the next big town. Of course, that was back when it was before medicine for profit and it was all corporatized. So
yeah,
different now.
So they go in the house and they in the doctor's office, and he realizes that it's just absorbing the person at a pretty rapid speed and everything. So each time he looks at it, it's grosser and grosser, and by the time later, it's just this big blob.
Well, it's funny because he keeps
It's a
making
small blob.
these assumptions. He's like, nothing is stopping it. You haven't tried anything yet. And then when it finally gets off of him, he's like, throw acid on it, and she throws it on there, and it does nothing. He's like, nothing can stop it.
Nothing can
You
stop
only
the
tried
blob.
one thing.
But anyway, so that's the thing, and then they leave and to go, I guess, investigate more or something.
He sends them to go looking for where the old timer came from, see if we can figure out why or where it came
Why? This is not something you do to kids.
from. No, you would call the cops.
You would call the cops and have them do it. You would say, cops, come down here, take a look at my patient, and let's see what's going on.
But
Instead,
then if you do that, then Steve and the teenagers can't save the day, which is the whole point of the film.
yeah. So Steve goes to check out the spot, doesn't find anything. Apparently, he passes by some friends of his, and they get all mad that he passed around them. He went around them, which
So they have to have a race backwards.
yeah.
That's what teenagers. That's what teenagers do.
No, they didn't have. They were gonna have a regular race, and then he says, "Well, you said you could beat me backwards, so let's go backwards." It's ridiculous. So they go backwards, and of course, Dave the cop, who's not the sheriff, which we never meet the sheriff, do we?
No.
I don't think so. So we only met Dave,
He's like the night guy in charge.
Yeah. So we meet Dave, and Dave kind of we have a character named Lieutenant Carson, and Lieutenant Carson is very by the book, and very, and Carson would not take this shit from these teenagers and would have. I don't think he would have arrested them, but he would have gave them a ticket for being,
They were on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, you get a ticket, for that shit and stuff. This guy was just like, go, get out of here. Just, even though, like, then that scene took forever. It's like, dude, stop. And, like, Steve McQueen is so slow when he was talking to him. I was like, come on.
Just explain what he's going. And he can't explain it. He's like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
And the explaining would be, my friends wanted to have a race, and they said they could beat me, and they said they could beat me backwards, so I went backwards. Sorry. I'm a little down, dirty 17-year-old punk. He even says, like, arrest me or something.
Well, remember, this is after the whole phenomenon with Marlon Brando and that whole wild teenager things.
Are you talking about, like, James Dean?
Like,
and Rebel Without a Cause?
Rebel Without a Cause, right.
Shit like that. Anyway, so these punk kids, and of course, the other kids don't get in any trouble. But he gets in trouble, and then...
in trouble back then was driving backwards.
Yeah, so...
You should see what the teenage troubles we have these days.
Yeah, not like that. But, so the kids say they don't want to help out because they're, going to a
spook show
at midnight. And so...
those teenagers weren't quite as bad. They were like 25, maybe.
Yeah, they were introducing the teenagers, and I was like, what? Come on. Whatever. But anyway, so I guess, didn't they help out or something for a little bit? Or whatever?
Yeah, rough. Vaguely, they go back with him to the house, and that's when they find the dog.
That's right. They go back to the house, they find the dog, they find the meteor, but they don't know what it is or what's going on. They say
it's
came out of
the sky.
Piece of the sky. That was it. That was what I was trying to think. Like, what? All right. So anyway, he goes up and
guess the education standards were low back then too.
After the dog, they just wanted to go to the movies. They didn't have any interest in helping out after that. So the Steve and Jane and the dog go to the doctors to go tell them what they found, which was really nothing other than the meteor, I guess, but they can't really explain that. There's no scientist to explain anything.
Meanwhile, the dumb nurse has gotten herself et because she can't stand up. She falls on her stupid ass.
The nurse has to get called in and gets eaten.
And then the doctor locks himself in the room with a shotgun because, of course, local doctors have shotguns on hand. And the damn thing comes under the door, and it goes after him. And Steve McQueen witnesses it from the outside because the doc fires.
But we don't really see it. Like, we see him there, but we don't see it like cover him.
Like briefly, briefly.
Like it didn't look like what he described, but
really,
anyway, so he goes up and he said, comes back and describes what it is to the girlfriend.
She's like, really?
And then the dog escapes and leaves, and then
she drops him.
She's like, and then he won't let her go back and get the dog, and so they just kind of disappear.
That dog was dead from the moment we was introduced. It's a shame.
It's a shame. I like that dog. He was a cutie. Should have stayed. They should have gave him to that bratty little kid that we meet later.
Ugh.
So we'll get to that in a second.
Worst character in the movie.
Yeah, but we'll get to him in a bit. Then they go to the cops. Yeah, they go to the cops because they want to tell the cops what's going on. And Dave is the one they go to, really. The other two cops, one plays chess at night, and the other...
ex-army, he's just a real jerk.
He's just an asshole character. Doesn't believe everything. He's an asshole. And
Betty.
So he says, the Dave is the one that believes them. So doesn't believe him, but believes there's something going on.
He's at least cutting them a break.
And and they say like somebody's dead, so they have to go investigate that if they see like they hear somebody's dead, which I believe would be true. So they went to Dave and the asshole guy go with the kids to the house. Meanwhile, the guy's playing chess is playing chess with somebody like
At another station.
Another station. The guy's like telling him what, and he's whatever. So that was kind of cute, I guess. I mean, what else are they gonna do in a small town where there's like really not much going on, and they only have 3 cops on duty?
Pornhub.
Yeah, well, that didn't exist back then. Or otherwise, yeah. Oops, that might be the new. If they make the new Blob, but maybe that will be introduced. But anyway, so he goes up there and he says they go to the doctor's house and they look around and at first they see nothing. Nothing seems out of the ordinary.
And doesn't the doctor hire a teenager to come in and rake his leaves, and then she ends up doing her live stream and in a bikini?
But none of that. No, that's the other movie we watched. So. And that was What the Fuck Friday, so if you want to tune in for that, please do, because that should be out first. So then, let's see what else happens. So they go to the doctor's office. The doctor says
he's dead. They can't find him.
Yeah, they can't find him.
He's saying he's dead. They don't believe him.
Well, the door is locked from the inside, and there's no way to get out. So we were like, how did the blob get out?
The blob gets out.
Yeah, how did the blob get out? I don't know.
He did his blob magic.
Well, he could go under the door, so maybe that's what he did.
Maybe.
He just went back under the door as I asked. Yeah, I'll just go back this way. And he went out like that way. I don't know. See, that's the thing with the blob. Like in this one, I don't know what they do with the remake, but like I don't remember what they did with the remake. But in this one, they leave and the blob's already been places, right? Most of the time, or whatever.
It's pretty damn slow, but it manages to get a lot of places.
And it seems to be very convenient how nobody else sees this damn thing. So it just kind of wanders around.
Except the car repair guy, and it sees it too late. The guy under the car.
Well, right. Well, after it's coming at him. But the other guy didn't see it.
No,
and it was like right there. So, like, I don't buy that. Like, I think the guy would have turned around and go, oh, my God, what is that? And then they would have ran away, and then they wouldn't have gotten eaten.
Exactly, which is what the scene's all about.
Yeah. So, because we were both going, this is, like, the slowest fucking thing. Like, this is slower than a zombie.
Because in the end, it ate the old guy, it ate the doc, it ate the nurse, and it ate the repair guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of about it.
That is about it.
And in theory, the dog. They say the dog, but you don't see it because,
They don't ever say they saved it, though, so it probably got eaten. Which they kept finding it and then letting it go. You dum-dums. Stop. That drove me nuts. We're big animal lovers, especially dogs. We love dogs.
So basically, the cops, they don't really believe him, but they can't figure out what else it would be. So Cop Dave is like, all right, let's just... the time-honored tradition. Everything will look better in the morning after a good night's sleep. So he sends them all home to go to bed. But, of course, teenage Steve McQueen and the chick can't do that, so they meet up and decide they're going to go figure things out.
She's trying to sneak out on her little brother.
Oh, God, the little brother.
Brother, I know you hate him, so I got to talk about him.
Well, the thing is that he's obviously there as some kind of sentimental piece, but you've already got the dog. You don't have a dog and a little kid. It's way too much. Way too much.
And the dog, it wasn't even sentimental, really. Like,
I mean, the girl felt something for the dog.
Yeah, kind of, but, like, she was kind of like, the dog's dead. Whatever. Oh, we saw the dog running down.
Way too cute.
Maybe the dog survived. Maybe.
I like to think so.
I like to think so, too, because they never show it get eaten. And they never show, because it'd probably be hard for
that's one of those rules. You don't show the dog being killed.
So, but they didn't say somebody off screen and go, oh my God, it got the dog, or something like that.
It's a shame there wasn't a Wilhelm scream like there was in the other movie. That would have been awesome.
Well, with the dog Wilhelm screams.
Yes.
I think that would be a little too goofy. And this movie was not, it was trying to be serious. That was the thing.
It's just goofy to us now because of all the weird 50s stuff that we're looking at. Like, what?
Yeah.
Lots of Venetian blinds, lots of these big giant canisters that were, I guess they were fire extinguishers. And
I guarantee you, in like 70 years, people are going to be looking at 2025 movies as cheesy.
You know, they're all smoking everywhere.
Yeah, like people doing vape. We just inject that shit into our arm, you know, like whatever this future is gonna hold for smokers, you know. But anyway, so yeah, everything's so freaking weird these days with this. But they go off to so they leave. They get the car. One thing that always annoys us, you know, is when they leave doors open. They left the garage door open.
The cars are parked like that close to each other. It's like barely an inch.
I know. And then they got it out by pushing it out so it didn't make any noise, so they could make the noise a little further away and not get in trouble, I guess. But go shut the garage door. You're going to get busted if somebody came. Well, if somebody came out and saw the garage door open and the car missing, they'll know. You know.
Or someone would come around and steal your dad's car.
Yeah, I guess that's why they have them in there.
That's why they have garage doors.
Right, so nobody would steal them. But anyway, so they go in and what is it? They go off to get their friends because they think their teenage friends can help them. So they go into the movie theater, which is the Colonial Theater, which is still there. It's a real theater. I believe it's called the Colonial for real.
From what I remember.
And you can it's like in Pennsylvania, if I'm correct. And you can actually go to it. And every year they have a Blob, anniversary.
A Blob party.
They have a Blob party, and they have people like Cinema Sickness used to go out and have a table there and stuff. And what you can do is you can go in there and do the scene that we're going to talk about later, but running outside.
The Blob run.
The Blob run. So we'll talk about that in a second. But meanwhile, they go and kind of interrupt this movie that's being played, and people are like,
the Robot and the Vampire.
No, I think that's another movie, but
Yeah,
I don't think that was the one they were watching. But that was another movie you saw, and you were like, "Let's make that movie."
I want to make it.
I don't know. They can't copyright a title.
Nope.
And so we can make that. You don't make that before we make that. We'll come after you. We've got this copyright
with a robot and a vampire.
But yes, so
actually, James Balsamo's doing Robot Dracula.
He already did that. I think he's out.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. I think G. Larry Butler's in it.
Yeah. We're such B-movie nerds.
Yeah, we love that shit. And then the Blob is perfect for us. It
is a B-movie.
It's a Paramount B-movie. Which back then Paramount did do those movies because they needed movies at the drive-in you could watch.
This was a classic B-movie of its era. And we were saying, Ed Wood probably took Kathy Wood there and they had popcorn and they watched it and he was like, man, I gotta write a movie just like that. The Ghoul goes west, the Blob goes west. Something like that. Something with Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, this was when Bela Lugosi was still alive.
And you gotta think, his name was in the title in the film that the kids were watching, so maybe it planted the idea of him using Bela Lugosi.
I don't think so. I think he already worked with Bela with Glenn Glenda. No, but he did probably see the movie and probably was like, Bella's name's up there. It's kind of cool. But anyway, so they watched the movie and they all left the movie, even some teenage girls or whatever that were with them, some dates, and they're trying to tell them there's the monsters loose. We gotta figure this out, blah blah blah. And the friends reluctantly agree to go warn everybody, apparently, which meant warning random people. And this one guy was like an older gentleman or whatever, was like, "Hey, have you come to party, kids? Come on!"
That was weird.
And he was like,
"It's Paul Revere."
It's Paul Revere. Oh, they've come to warn us about something. The English are coming, or whatever.
Guess he's supposed to be a drunk adult.
I guess, but then they're like, whatever, so they don't care. But like, it would have made sense if the Blob came like right after and ate them. But we never saw that if they did.
Trust me, there's a lot of characters I wanted to see eaten by the Blob.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Not Steve McQueen, right? No. So anyway, they go up and what is it? They warn a couple other people, and then they find a like deserted. Steve and Jane and the dog find a like a what's it?
It's a supermarket.
Supermarket.
That should be closed, but the
Should
door's
be closed.
open.
Yeah. And I mean, what we realize in it is he does not like things that are the blob doesn't like things that are too cold. So when they rush in and they left the dog, they rush into the meat freezer. It cuts. It makes it too cold, and the blob's like never mind.
But they don't put two and two together until later.
Yeah. So and they think fire will help. It will do anything. I guess fire doesn't do anything for it.
They didn't really try it though, did they?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Because they wouldn't have set the restaurant on fire.
They tried electricity, but that didn't do anything. So.
Oh, yeah, but that's probably where they thought fire, electricity would do something. But no, that didn't do anything. So then, so basically, this is actually like toward the end, is the blob attacks the theater and
That's right, it eats the projector guy.
Yeah, it eats the projector guy, that small ass screen.
Oh yeah, it's like the size of our TV.
It's like the size of our TV. It's like, wait a minute, what? I'm sure the Colonial has a much bigger TV or the screen now, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was tiny.
Maybe it was there for the reason of the blob.
That's all they could afford.
Well, no, I think the blob, it couldn't take a big screen. It could only take like a littler screen. But anyway, it comes down and attacks everybody, or starts attacking there. People running out of the theater, and then
it's the big blob run.
And so many like other movies have kind of parodied that, and so it's kind of cool.
But it's funny because you look carefully, and half of the people running are smiling and laughing and having a good time. One poor girl gets her ass trampled by someone. I don't think that was done on purpose. I think she really got trampled.
Keep rolling.
Yeah, basically.
So they go up and so they all kind of get that, and then the blob's coming after. I don't know why it's just coming after Jane and Steve or whatever, but it's coming after them, and they get them kind of trapped in a diner, and everybody has to like pick up they will try the frozen thing with
him and the damn kid, because the kid somehow magically appears so he could shoot his little pop gun at them, and it does nothing, of course, because he's a stupid kid. But now he's got to be in the way, so they have to pick him up and save him.
Yeah, because he apparently we didn't mention that he was like asleep on the couch, and his parents found him there. I'm protecting you. Yeah, so they're like, what are you talking about? And they said that she left. Little brat, So they left. So I guess the parents came, which helped because her dad was the principal and could get into the schools and steal some of the stuff that they needed there, like the extinguishers and stuff. So everybody's bringing fire extinguishers, and they do everything they can to freeze this blob, and they freeze it at the end. And they kind of sneak out the back way of the
out of the windows, the basement windows,
the basement windows and stuff, and then they freeze the blob, and they're taking it to Antarctica.
Yeah, the Air Force drops it off in Antarctica,
and that's the end, pretty much.
Until the next movie.
But until beware of the blob, and is there son of the blob or something it's rare. So I've never seen any of the other ones. I've only seen this and the remake. I haven't heard great things, so I haven't. No. It hasn't been on my top of my to-do list of things to watch. But I did enjoy this one. It had some really good moments. And let me go grab it real quick.
It's got nostalgia moments because it's the kind of movie that I would see on a Saturday morning when I was a little kid, because it would be always played all the time.
All right, so we always read the special features and stuff. We've got
super saturated colors look really good though.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's a new 4K digital restoration, so it's not a 4K movie, but it's a Blu-ray with uncompressed monaural soundtrack, which means if it has a 4K digital, it could be upgraded to 4K, which I honestly I would like to watch it on 4K. at some point. I don't know if I'd buy it or not, but I probably would. 2 audio commentaries, one by producer Jack H. Harris and film historian Bruce Eder, and the other by director Irvin S. Yeworth Jr.
Yeah, he's the guy who directed it.
And actor Robert Fields. Blobabilia, a gallery of collector Wes Shank's trove of rare stills, posters, props, including the Blob itself, and other ephemera. Trailer plus an essay by critic Kim Newman. So it's
hello, Newman.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, it's.
I love the title thing in the middle with the weird. That was cool.
What?
The opening.
Oh yes, it has a great opening score and has a Blob theme song.
Yep.
It was pretty neat because at first it was just music, and I thought, oh, this is kind of cute music, and then it starts singing about the Blob, and I'm like, that's so cute. It was adorable.
I liked it.
Yeah, it made you go back to the 50s completely, and
whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this
not
is
a single person of color in this entire film.
indescribable.
Just like the 50s.
Indescribable, indestructible. Nothing can stop it. It's the Blob. I don't know. I chose this for spooky season because it is a classic. It's not, honestly, it's not the greatest, but it's fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again and again. I'm glad I own it.
Be curious to see what someone like Noah would have to say about it, just to see, what they might think about what possible material it was made out of. Since electricity didn't work, but coal did.
What is going on over here?
That sounds like the Blob.
The Blob is coming for us! Ah! It was a helicopter or something, or a plane. But yeah, so it was a blast. It was fun to watch. I mean, it's kind of fun to pick on it a little bit. It's not in the Mystery Science Theater 3000 type. It's too good, for that. Like, it's better than that, but like, it's still a B movie. This is not, even with Steve McQueen's name in it.
I have it. That's that dinky old lady who keeps wanting to clean up the mess.
Yeah, we forgot that lady.
We're like, dude, this is a crime.
This is a crime
Leave
scene.
it alone.
It's a crime scene until they say it's not a crime scene.
Right.
Like she's like, "Can I please?" And Paul goes, "No."
Do I have to lock your ass up?
Oh man, Carson would not be able to deal with that.
Zero patience.
I should write a scene with a lady that just like keeps doing.
Please do. Please do.
If you see a movie of
and
mine that has a scene like that, it's it's obviously a parody of the Blob.
I'm just gonna clean it up. No, you old bat.
I don't know if Carson would say that, but he would get frustrated and say, if you touch one of those things, I'm taking you in right now. Which the guy I felt was going to say that because he was
shut up.
He had a little bit of like impatience at the end. He was like, telling her, let's go now, like let's get out of here, so you don't bother our crime scene. Like I don't know who she was. She was like a neighbor.
Yeah, nosy neighbor.
Yeah, like it's not your job. That's the police's job, or if the guy comes back, the doctor's job, which he's not. He's dead.
I mean, she shouldn't even be there. There should have been another cop keeping people away so that looky-loos don't walk in and contaminate the scene.
They only had 3 cops in the town, apparently. And one person had to stay on the radio and make sure, things got, whatever. Which I guess nothing was really happening at night there, Or
that's exactly why you don't have looky-loos wandering in, so they don't fuck up the crime scene.
I think even Ed Wood did a scene. Had in Plan 9 had more than 2 cops. Like he had 4 cops that would come out to the crime scene and stuff for the and then he had the the chief or whatever and stuff, like Tor Johnson walking around.
I'm a big boy, Johnny.
So that stuff, like, he had all these people. So he had, like, that town had a real cop thing, and everything like that. Though I would imagine Kelton would have been on the radio and not actually,
He doesn't know why he has to come up with all these spook details.
No. We're going to have another Kelton other than John Johnson. We're going to have a new Kelton that hasn't been... Nobody's been picked yet for it, but we're going to have another Kelton.
Could be you.
Could be you. I don't know. We don't know. But we will have one because John Johnson is basically going to be, in our universe, will be retiring after Hell Watch Guardians, I think. And then we will be looking for somebody to...
He's too busy anyway.
Well, we're going to be looking for not him, his character, but we're not taking a multiverse thing.
Are we
but
going to do a gender swap Kelton?
Maybe. There hasn't been a female Kelton,
not?
right? I wouldn't mind that. So think about it, ladies.
Yep.
If you want to play Kelton,
We need a Kelton.
So we'll look at that. But right now we're just enjoying this movie. Like I had a fun time.
See, yeah, I don't think Misty did it, but it strikes me, I think somebody did. It was either Cinematic Titanic or maybe it was Riff Track. Somebody did the Blob. I just don't remember who it was.
I'm not surprised. Because it is that kind of movie where it could be
very
done.
riffable.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily bad, but it's riffable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we were riffing. We were riffing on it while we watched it.
Yeah, it had moments where you could actually do it. You could say whatever and joke on it. And
Like,
stuff.
it was funny to me that there's this big sign in the doctor's office that says polio. And then in the police station, there's a big sign in the office that says polio. It's like, wait a second, what are you doing?
Why do you have the same
Why is
sign?
it there?
Maybe polio was a big thing back then.
I guess.
It would be like having something say COVID, and then another thing say COVID, another sign. Because they, don't want...
Now we're going to get demonetized. Thanks, Moody.
We're not monetized
I
anyway.
know. It's a shame.
Not yet. I don't know if we ever will be.
Probably not.
I'm okay with that.
It's all right.
We'll make our movies, and that'll make us money, and then we can do this for fun. That's all I really care about. I like doing this for fun. This shit is fun. This is what we would be doing if we didn't have a podcast. We'd just be watching movies. Now we have a place to stay and do this shit and do this for fun anyway. So might as well. So I think that's it. So we'll be back in December for the season finale, which will be his, and then we'll come back.
This is the season finale.
No, this isn't.
No, that's right.
That's what the fuck Friday had, the
That's right.
season finale.
That's
No,
right.
this isn't the season finale, because yours
I got
is
one more.
last.
One more
'cause yours will be
Criterion.
10. And then we'll be done with the season, and then the next season, I think, begins sometime next year.
Next year, I think. Yeah.
Maybe. We've been talking about how we're gonna be taking breaks so we can bring other ones back. We want to get Docs That Rock and Blue Cheese back. We haven't done those in a while, and we kind of missed them. So we're gonna come back and then
Definitely want to do Forgotten Horror Classics. I've been
Well,
chomping at
that's
the bit
that's
for
you
that.
and Jolene, so you guys work that out.
Chomping at the bit for that.
Yeah, well, she's in Greece right now, so
know.
she'll be back. When she comes back, bother her and say, And then we got, I think, a few more film freaks to
I'll
do.
poke her with a stick until she envelops my hand.
It's kind of creepy. Please don't do that. It's probably a bad idea. All right, so I think that about wraps it up for this episode.
Yep.
Like I said, we'll be back on December. It's right now it's every other, unless we decide to do it next month, but I doubt it. I think I don't know yet, but I know we got a couple more film freaks to do because I want to get up to 50. And episode 50, so that we can have the
I got film
anniversary.
freaks ready too.
I think, yours is next. So, until then, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll be back soon.
Beware the Blob.
Or the son of the Blob.